Now, once you acquire this knowledge through that association, you must teach others. You must teach others. If it's your brother, your sister, everybody in this room got somebody looking up to them. Might be your cousin, might be your nephew. It might be somebody older than you.
That's right.
Might be your grandma, your uncle. Right? Somebody's looking up to you. So it's your responsibility to behave a certain way because you know that they're looking at you. Right? Now, if we wearing our pants off our butt every day we go to school and they down by my knees, right? What's that young 5-year-old think? He cool. Man, everybody in the community know him. Every time we go to the store, everybody's smiling him up. Hey, what's up, bro? So I'm going to look at you. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He's the man. Right? Or a sister with the tight jeans. You can't barely walk. Your jeans are so tight. You don't understand that that's cutting off the ear to your ovaries. It's doing damage to your body. You can't wear that tight stuff all the time like that. You must teach others once you acquire this knowledge. You have to want it. You have to want it. This is not a game, brothers and sisters. Listen to me, please. This is some severe stuff going on. Be thankful for this program. Thankful for what people are trying to do to help you. Because a lot of our elders are scared of y'all. They scared of y'all. They don't want nothing to do with y'all. They some fools, that's what they think. They push you to the side. They bring in laws now for the pants instead of helping the brother's consciousness to teach him what's wrong with wearing your pants low. But no, they put a law. You get a fine if you wear your pants low now. Did y'all know that? Certain places in the country, you can't wear your pants like that. They pull you up and give you a fine. And you take a fine home in your mall 2 or 3 times, and you're going to get your boat. And you won't stop wearing your pants like that. Something's going to happen. All right? Next photo movie. Now we have to understand what the Africans call the supreme good. It's called the sun and money, which is what we all should strive for. Sun and money. We all should strive for the supreme good, to become the best person we could possibly be. We all have imperfections. We all must strive to become better, though. I like teaching the brothers and sisters like y'all because I know that you guys are already on the way to learn. You want to learn. You're in this program. You know? You're in this program. You want to learn. You ain't have to show up today. They ain't paying y'all no $1 million to show up. Right? You get little perks, but you ain't getting no $1 million. You ain't getting no guaranteed nothing. Right? Commend y'all for that. I love y'all for that. Y'all want to learn. Y'all want to know. Y'all curious. You're just not getting the right information. But that's not an excuse. Go look it up yourself. Find people like Sister Ada can help you. You got a question? Call, brother. Email. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Coming up, I thought smart was square. I thought dudes that were nerds were squares. Right? We teased them, picked on them, and, you know, took their money. You know, just this dumb stuff. Because this dude got straight A's. Now, where are these dudes at now? One of them is an engineer I ran into not too long ago. Engineer, brothers and sisters. Come on now. We got to stop looking at education as weak. We got to stop looking at talking as weak. Rhetoric is the key to re-education. If we don't talk and communicate, how are we going to get better? Oh, that dude just talking. He just up there. I don't want to hear that. He ain't got nothing to say. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't ready to shed blood. Right? He ain't saying nothing. He just talking. What Scarface say in the jam? The old folks is mad at us because their kids is lost. How you expect me to teach them when all you did was talk? You understand? Right? This is what y'all thinking. Come on, I was the same way. I ain't hear you, oh, man, what you got to say? You ain't helping me get no Ferrari. You ain't helping me get out the hood. You ain't helping me get rid of crack out my family. Right? Come on. This is a war on us. We are beautiful people. I just showed you. During this brief time, just showed you a little bit. Very small signs. We're powerful people. We traveled the world. This proof is everywhere. have to understand the Son of Love. Now in closing, I want to read to y'all this small little piece. And then we can close and we can go into some questions because I know we're getting close to the time. I want y'all to listen to this piece that I wrote a couple of weeks ago. And sometimes I sit and when I get thoughts in my head, I just write them down. I suggest any of you who want to acquire this kind of knowledge to write as much as you can. Write a journal. Record your story. Record your thoughts. You can go back and look on them one day and say, oh, I've grown so much. I've learned so much, right? To see the beauty within yourself, even though people can't see it. They might not see that you're a bright person. They might think you're a fool. You know inside, I ain't no fool. I ain't no fool. Write your story down. Communicate with others. Teach others. I'm going to read this from this paper. I call this poem, it's a poem, y'all, and I call it the Griot. In closing, I'm going to read you this poem that I call the Griot. As I sit and look at the destruction of my people, and I'm reading this because I haven't memorized it yet, I just wrote it down. As I sit and look at the destruction of my people, I realize clearly the cause and effects of this war. Why do we let our young people destroy themselves without regard? We're living in a country once occupied by our Olmec ancestors. Look at what we've become. Menticide is real. The denial of reality is real. Blue steel is all we feel. What do we have? Spiritual leaders who want to be stars? 16 bars? Coops with no roofs? And gimmicks lacking coof? Spare me the BS. Cut off one head and another will grow. Thanks for listening, y'all. Anybody got any questions or anything? Go ahead, bro.
I wanted to ask you some of the concrete steps you took when you were first becoming aware. As a brother, a lot of us have not heard certain things before. When you were first getting this information, what are some concrete things you did to help you get to this level?
That's a great question. Thank you. The first thing I did was I realized there was something wrong. I realized clearly through my mistakes, which landed me in the county jail for a small period of time, that I was doing something wrong. Something was wrong. I just didn't know why. And as I started to realize, that there was something wrong with me, because I was stuck into a position where I thought I was just okay. Just like everybody else. You get you a car, you get you a couple dollars, you think you're okay, right? You think you're living. What the Creator did was sit me down so I'd have some time to sit still. Dang, no one wants to be in that county jail. They give you meat that look like human meat, y'all. They give you an orange and a small drink in a brown paper bag. Treated like a slave. You're told when to get up. You got to shower with other people. It's hell. So I realized, I said, there's something, I got to change. I got to do something right. So then, as I started to understand that, I started to write my thoughts on paper, which was one of the most significant things for me, like I shared with you guys. Write down on paper how you feel, and just look it over. And I wrote, asked the CEO, I said, can I get a couple pieces of paper? He didn't have them, so he gave me a couple of napkins. They can't give you pens. They give you little small little pencils, little half pieces of pencil. So I started jotting down my thoughts on that. And it ripped a couple times, but my thoughts were down. This was the beginning stages of me starting to acquire this knowledge. Then as I started to grow, I met brothers like Brother Kaka, different elders, who shared information with me. Through them sharing that information, it turned on a light inside my head. And the more information, I started to say, hold up, man, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong here. We've been fooled real nice. Then my brother got shot. And they called me and they say, he shot his chest, he's dying. So I fly to the hospital. And I get to the hospital and they pushing me to the back, and man, you just see all the blood everywhere. And that was one of the things he said, hold up, man, I got to do something about this. Because again, we all have imperfections. What we have to do is realize what we need to do to become a better people. And hopefully I showed you little small steps that you can do. Surround yourself around positive people. You can't hang with hood rats and expect to be a queen. Right? can't hang with D-boys and you expect to go to college, right? I want to learn science. I want to learn about Australopithecus. I want to learn about Homo habilis. How am I going to learn that from the D-boy? D-boy don't know what that means. And why is that even significant? Because I know who I am, where I come from. Knowledge is power. Brothers and sisters, real quick. They say the strong rule the weak, but the wise rule the strong. Any other questions?
Where are you based?
Sister, where was I raised?
Where are you based?
I'm in East Side. I'm back in the East Side now. I'm in Wilkesburg.
Okay.
Yeah. So I moved back to the hood. So like I told y'all the whole story earlier, you know, give them a couple dollars, you move out to the suburbs, and you think you're living. And you come back to reality real fast.
So what are you doing right now for you? Like, you know how you hear with us today,
Right.
are you doing the same thing in different places?
Yeah, I try to do this as much as I can. You know, as I said in this little poem, our spiritual leaders want to be stars, you know, that frustrated me. So you know, as I wrote my first book was just an introduction, a small introduction of me. I really didn't know a lot then. This new book that I just said about is called How Did I Get Here from a Cushite to a Thug?
Wow.
I'm explaining the origins of Cush, which came from Napata, 747 BC, which was the first implementation of Cush. Powerful Nubian people, as I showed y'all, the ones who shaped civilization to where we're now thugs. And I'm explaining that story in great detail. It's about 200 and some odd pages. It has photos in it, some of the photos you're seeing here today. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to write, I'm trying to speak as much as I can, because I know that if I didn't have elders, right? I mean, what's the sense of me knowing all this? I gotta tell them, right? You know what I mean? Like, why? If I know the cure and I keep that to myself, what's that make me?
Selfish.
You know what I mean? That's like a lot of people. They walk around, they think they know it all, right? You get wrapped into a certain religion. No disrespect to any religion, but you get wrapped into a certain religion. You get put into a box. And then you then think that this is it. I know the key and the answer to everything, right? Which makes you foolish. All right? We have wars all over the world where Muslims and Christians are fighting. How many understand the origins of that? How many understand Saladin and Richard I and the Crusades, and how there were 3 Crusades, right? The Christians won the first one and the Muslims won the second 2. How many people know that there's been war going on for years, centuries, between Christians and Muslims? It's not an accident that we don't like the terrorists, right? It's not by accident. It's not by accident that these wars are going on. You know, people are fighting over religion. So that's why I'm. The first book is in anywhere, pretty much. Just on the book wherever you go, anywhere for it, purchase it. The second one will be out in June. So I just finished it. I'm wrapping up the editing process, and should finish yours by June. And I wrote it for y'all. I have a section on there, chapter 3. I entitled Grandma, and I've dedicated that to the black woman. And I talk about, you know, how you guys are basically the spoils of the war. You guys are the spoils of the war, you black women. You don't know that you're being used, right? You don't know it. So it's serious. There's a lot of information out here that we need to be taught, and our schools aren't teaching us. Flat out. Give us 1 month for Black History. It should be every day, all day. In the home. Another influential aspect that the brother asked me real quick, y'all, is some of my friends' mothers and fathers had prominent African paintings on their wall. Now, in my house, we ain't have none of that. We might have had a white Jesus in my house. My grandmother was a preacher. So, you know, I go to my friends and I see Marcus Garvey or, you know, different prominent Africans. And I'm like, man, who is this dude, man? You know, kind of weird. He got a hat with a feather on it. I'm like, man, what is this dude? Who is he? And then I started to realize the research, light cuts on. I'm telling you, you got to study. Got to know who you are. You don't want to just walk around like a zombie. You don't want to be a zombie. You know, like my man Nas says, walking, talking, dead, and we think we're living. We just copycatting the system.